Dog have to kind of consider what they want here with the Ogre Magi Lina, consider whether or not they want to just end up running a core Lina, going something else for support to deal with the lineup already in TNC, and they are taking their time. Looks like they might have caught themselves out here. Now they've got to consider certain things that could reach at the back. They could go for a Clockwork. Clockwork Lina is a pretty potent duo as well, if you sort of want to fit that into a lane together. And that does give them reach towards the back to preempt something like the Drow, something like the Arc Warden, if they wanted to. So could be an option for Team Dog, but looks like they're just going to think about it.
Oh, the CK. Well, how could we forget? We've seen this a couple times over the past couple days. Very, very strong. TNC, however, will go for the Medusa pickup, and that's one way to deal with the CK illusions with the Ags. Though, John, it does scare me a little bit. Like this Medusa pick. If you get rifted by the CK with all the Ag solutions, I imagine your mana pool will probably disappear pretty darn quick. So I'm not sure how much I love the Medusa pick, and now an AM is there as well. So you've got this guaranteed way of draining mana, and you've got the CK who probably will pick up Ags, which means another AM illusion to drain even more mana. And as well as that, just a lot of damage to pump out. I'm not sure. Is this draft from TNC going to work?
It has very specific conditions where it works. I think your Medusa is going to have to stand back every single time. They're going to have to play around the wombo combo of Stone Gaze plus Egg, Stone Gaze plus Egg Arena. And that's where it comes in. Of course, you've got the Venge Aura to help the Medusa. Very reminiscent of Boom Esports drafts. But again, they're the only ones who really play fast with Medusa. We're talking about Mask of Madness, maybe a Dragonlance and start running around, or just a Yasha and running around. We'll see if Gabby wants to play that way. He tends to like to build up a suitable gold base first, which they can provide with Venge stacking. You know, the Terror Wave kind of giving them a lot of stacking opportunities is going to be big and important for TNC. Team Dog, despite the fact that they've got this amazing CK, I think the early start is where it might be a bit dicey. Not in laning, but in terms of overall 5v5s or 5v4s or 4v4s as the AM and Medusa will farm. When it comes down to a 4v4, Mars Phoenix Venge just sounds like a lot more AoE control, a lot more team fight. CK without the Ags lacks a bit of punch. Can still kind of tear through softer targets, but it's not as amazing. It does feel like the Ags is a key part of this pick. So you're going to have to wait for that build up first for Team Dog. We'll have to see how fast Ice 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 can reach that point. And what else they're going to take here. Like, it looks like we are waiting for our Abed hero. So something that could tie into these timings is going to be really important.
That it is. Team Dog, final pickup now. The Abed hero, as you mentioned, is to come out. Armel also lacking his own mid lane hero unless they throw the Medusa there, but I do believe that is going to be a Gabby Medusa that we are seeing. And Team Dog, 25 seconds reserve time left to make the pick. You definitely want something that just kind of opens up the map and the space for In Your Dream. Nothing too greedy here for Abed. They'll give him the Batrider. That's one way to do it. It's a very aggressive kind of draft here from Team Dog. It does come online fairly early, right? Like once you hit that mid game, again, once you have the CK Ags up, it just seems like it might be time to go. You don't exactly need In Your Dream to join in either on the AM. You can kind of just leave him to farm.
Yeah, it's going to be able to really buy that space out for the AM. I do have to say Batrider into Venge can be a bit dicey. So you've got the swap to break off the lasso. That is one thing for Team Dog to consider. But when it comes down to activity, they do have a lot of room to be aggressive. And they have some room for flexibility in how to lane the Batrider. It could be a pause for Bat with Abba taking the Lina instead. So they could just wait to see what the mid-match will be, what the lanes will be like before committing to their picks. And that does make it for a fairly potent pickup for Team Dog in closing out this way. They can choose to flex till the very end. TNC gonna have to think hard about this one. Looks like they really just lack the Armel hero. They're gonna have to find something that won't have too many issues, whether or not it's facing the Lina or Bat. You do have The Spirit Brother options are still sort of available. Ember is there, although probably not the best against that. They go with the
Wow.
Legion Commander instead. So it looks like Armel Mars coming out, KPLC. And that should be a treat. The last time we saw Armel Mars tends to play really aggressive. We see him go for the Blink Yules for the most part. And that's always a joy to watch into the Desolator. Let's see if TNC can hit their timings this time. But Team Dog do look pretty darn nice as well with their draft. In fact, no, it's the Armel LC and the KP Mars. So
Okay.
nothing too crazy. I suppose when it comes to Batrider versus LC, that is pretty nice. You've got that self-purge. So napalm stacks won't be a big issue. Abed should still be able to find farm, but that should be a very steady lane for both sides down mid.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough lane for Abed on that Batrider for sure. The whole strength of the Batrider is now just kind of gone with the press the attack. But apart from that, I still like the draft of Team Dog. It's going to be a matter of what TNC can do with their own draft to get things going. And John, what is that CK cosmetic I'm looking at? It is very different, this horse.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't even recall that one.
Yeah.
And it's always kind of weird. Everyone else faces forward. CK kind of changes his orientation when the picks come in for some reason. I don't know. He just likes showing off his horse. You ever stop and think about how small the actual Chaos Knight is, Mike? Like, you look at the unit. Look how big that horse is. And look how small he is. Because the shield covers his entire upper torso. It's like he's a tiny, tiny man on a huge horse. You know?
He's compensating for something, John.
You
leave him alone.
It's something. It's something. Still, we'll see how it goes. We'll see if any warnings are given out to IYD for saying good luck, have fun. Gotta watch yourself when you warn him. Don't want to motivate him to play good.
True. Abed just throwing a casual sticky napalm onto his team just to just oil them up a little bit, just make sure they're feeling good.
Yeah. I mean, we did get some word from ICE that they were busy commiserating their food outside their bodies.
Yeah.
Vacating their bodies of their food. So something up. Looks like they might have an imposter giving them food poisoning.
Perhaps.
Hopefully it
not.
doesn't stay too long. Yeah.
Knowing Ice though, he could have just been joking.
Yeah.
It's hard to take the guy seriously sometimes. I don't think the admins knew either whether he was joking or not. Just gotta accept it and pretend you're taking it seriously.
Yeah. It's the best you can hope for. Still, love this early positioning of Ice. Look at that. Just standing on the ramp, waiting for some to roll down. He got the camp blocked as well. So Febby, it's got to be ready. He has his sentry. Should know something's up. Should be able to spot that later.
Yeah. Again, it is going to be quite important as well. Like Team Dog, they're off to a good start in that game number 1. They definitely want to get this series 2-0 their way if they can afford to, as they do want the points quite badly. Nice. Actually going to get a 2-second stun straight off the bat, trying to run into Gabby. But Febby is not going to allow the follow-up Light Strike array to connect on his Medusa. So he does throw out the magic missile and make sure Paulson does not get the chance.
That's all bounties going the way of Team Dog. Like, they have one left, but they've taken 3 already. So TNC missing out on a lot of early gold. And a bit surprising. But they do win out here, Team Dog, just having a nice little injection for themselves.
I can't remember the stat that I saw the other day, but if you do get all 4 bounties at the start of the game, the chances of you winning the game is quite a bit higher than it would have been had you not. I can't remember the exact percentage, but it was substantially higher. So Team Dog finding themselves a very important advantage at this 0-minute mark.
Yeah, if only one of them would spot that last bounty rune, hopefully before it respawns. Still, gonna take a look at the lanes. You've got In Your Dream with Afu, very standard AM lane with the AM and the Ogre Magi. Of course, they are up against KP's Mars and Tim's Phoenix. So got a lot of damage that can fly out here as well.
Debbie might just be dead. Ice is going to chase him down. He tries to eat through the tree line, but that is going to be an extremely early first blood out for Ice. And I'd say out of everyone, this is probably the last guy you want to give that gold to. Because again, once he has the Ags up, it is going to be go time for Team Dog. Just giving him that first blood gold is not going to be what TNC want.
Yeah, it's really going to help Ice accelerate towards that initial set of items. Even the EXP gain for a CK can be important. They're getting some good spread here between Ice and Paulson. Gabby and Febby on the Medusa eventually, and this does take quite a few levels to come online. Right, like Medusa level 1 is not amazing, even level 2 is not that great. Level 3 is sort of fine, but 4 to 5 is when it can come into its own. Febby as well needs some levels up on his aura.
They really wanted that range creep, but Paulson, very good deny there on the range creep, and every little advantage counts, especially when you're playing up against the Medusa. Slowing her down as much as possible is just great as they throw another stun out. Light Strike Array is also going to land. Febby going to go in with a magic missile onto Ice. Just going to be a bit of trading. Of course, the last lane we haven't really talked about too much is going to be the mid lane with Abed versus Armel. We did kind of break this down in the draft a little bit, but Armel shouldn't really have too many issues here. Up against Abed, you are always going to be able to purge off the sticky napalm with the press the attack. Abed, he can continue to just spam it out, but that's only going to mean that Armel will constantly have mana to be able to continue spamming press the attack. So this is very unfavorable for Abed on this Batrider.
Yeah, it's not the smoothest start. Abed's going to have to really consider his rotations into the jungle to get that catch-up farm. He's already falling behind in terms of last hits as well, so really good lane control out from Armel. Of course, both heroes might want to keep an eye out for the power runes as they come out, but Abed does know that his bounty's up. He gets a free refill on the bottle, and that is going to allow him a little bit more presence here. Armel should get a smooth ramp up to 6, and if he does, he should watch the supports to come in, make use of that first duel perhaps, or get a rotation on the sides. Could be a nice little pickup for Armel if he's allowed to escalate this way.
Absolutely. I think Armel's just going to have a completely free lane. I just can't see Abed being able to do anything to slow him down. It's like Abed's actually going to go ahead and pull the creep wave back from behind the tier 1 mid tower and go for the small camp as well. It's just nice little efficiency plays out from Abed on this Batrider, just doing the best he can with what he has. And I guess that is one way to win out the lane, is just don't lane at all up against the LC. And now the standard race is on for that 4-minute power rune, but Armel does have that inbuilt movement speed there, so he is going to be able to beat out Abed in that as well. And well, bot lane, they do lose food. Tims, he's able to get the first kill for the side of TNC onto the support Ogre.
Yeah, just dropping a bit low there on the side of that Ogre. Not much In Your Dream can do, and that's really the gist of this lane. It's very basic. There's not many opportunities to make any big plays. So TNC, once they've got these levels up, you know, you've got that major spike with level 2 Fire Spirits, can burn through. That's softer support. I mean, it's still a tanky support, but not very tanky against magic damage. That's something Afu's going to have to watch out for. Still, this is giving In Your Dream some pretty good space to farm up. KP is farming even better, though. That is something to consider, as the Mars, once you hit level 6 as well, it's going to be a fairly good timing for KP to make some plays in.
That it will be. Fire Blast is out from Afu. Looks like he does manage to take the boundary rune away from KB. Going to be a 2 for 2 anyway. Not too big of a deal. It's In Your Dream. Going to cop a bit of harassment on his way out. As KP not really backing off from the AM. Will also give it the way of Afu. This Mars hero is just so damn powerful in the laning stage. It's kind of hard to contest no matter what you've picked up. In Your Dream, he does have plenty of regen though with that Ring of Health and Ring of Regen. He's probably not going to be forced out of this lane anytime soon.
Nah, it's going to be steady for him to farm up. The one thing happening here, though, is that the supports are sort of stuck. They're both going to make their way down for that 6-minute power rune soon. Going to be important for Abed to get control in this. If he gets a haste, it could be an opportunity to find something. They really have abandoned this lane to Armel. Already level 6, going to hit 7. It's going to be a really good start for him.
Armel just getting all the farm he could have asked for. Gets a DD rune as well, and looks like he wants to try and make a rotation. He will now level up the Jewel. Looks to get his first bit of Jewel damage, but Abed is aware of what Armel is up to and does give the heads up to his team. Armel still going to run up. Paulus is sticking around a bit too long, but Ice going to come in with a stun and a light strike array out. Armel is going to be able to survive, but won't really be able to get the jewel he wanted. It's a bit of a waste of time here for the LC. She will be forced to just go back into the mid lane. Meanwhile, Abed just searching around for some stacks in the Dire jungle, does end up finding some. So still being able to find farm while just taking it away from TNC. Mel, he really wants to go for this duel attempt, but will lose his courier in the process, and Abed is just going to run away, forcing a TP out from Fairby. The stun is not going to make it in time. Perfect timing from Abed, back to the fountain, and they just waste so much time from Armel.
Yeah, a good play coming out from Abed. Contesting those stacks can be important. We talked about that from draft. That's something TNC wanted to build up with the Venge for the Medusa, for the LC, and just losing that control is going to hurt a bit. It's allowing Team Dog to find a slight advantage here overall in net worth, not by much. Really even game so far, really slow game for both sides as they are playing cautiously once more. I think the issues you have right now for TNC is lack of a naturally highly mobile hero. So you're waiting for a swap to be up or the blink on Armel. And once you have one of those, I suppose you can start making some plays, but it's going to be hard to find some backup. I suppose once you have level 6 in your Phoenix as well, there should be some opportunities that can present themselves, but until then, it is just going to be a bit more of this slow build-up for both sides. Steady, not much aggression, just focusing down, hunkering down for the long game.
Gabby's farm up has been very slow on this Medusa, I've got to say, John. 2.2k. One thing is as well is like you do tend to go back for the stacks if you are this Medusa, but against the Bat Rider who can just kind of roam into your jungle and steal them away can be quite annoying for Gabby. And speaking of Abed, he has found out the Medusa. He wants to get through that mana pool first before going for the lasso with the Firefly. It's a lot of damage out on Arfu. He's going to be there to back him up. Another great rotation out from Abed, considering how bad of a lane he had to go through. This is a very good game for him thus far.
Yeah, he's making good work with his Bat Rider. Again, TNC is sort of repeating what happened in Game 1. This is very reminiscent of that. They're just trying to buy Gabby out space. They're not even finding that space. Abed's now clearing out the jungle up top. They don't really have control in the bot jungle to farm up. They are shoving in the tier 1 bot. But the Morris is not the fastest pusher. Still, he's going to have some backup, and Armel around should ensure that this tower will fall.
KP having a look around for Arfu. Arfu standing very, very still. KP can drop the arena, and that will remove all the trees. But he doesn't really want to waste it. So instead, he will hold on. And Abed's having a laugh at Arfu.
Oh.
Yeah, they should. Oh, KP, he's going to go for a TP into the mid lane instead. Yeah, he wants to go for a team fight in the mid. Ice, I guess he is much more valuable of a target, but Ice, he is still surviving for now. Sunray will come through. KP going to get stunned up, and now Abed going to sneak up from behind, but he does not have enough mana for the lasso, though it may not matter. It looks like the Firefly is going to prove to be enough, and Ice will be able to take the kill on the Chaos Knight. I suppose in the end, KP may as well have just stayed around at the bot lane and gone for Arfu.
Yep, they didn't even get the tower gold, Mike. They got the deny off down bot. Febby does the same up top. So overall, no one getting tower gold, but that does hurt TNC a bit. They could have gotten an easy duel win for Armel. Would have helped him snowball a bit on that LC. Looks like they're just going to wait for that blink, but look at Abed.
Yeah, Abed going to move in with the Firefly again, and now has the lasso ready to go after this LC. Press the attack is available for Armel, but he's just going to try and run for it. He will pop it. Flame Break is there. Meanwhile, Tim's dying across the map, and Armel, he has no way out of this. He just has to accept the fact that he is going to die. And nothing is going right so far for TNC. It's a 5-1 with a 4k net worth advantage at 11 minutes in for Team Dog. They are making it look very easy.
The biggest gap here is between our AM and between our Medusa. Gabby is still stuck at 3.3k behind Paulson's pause for Lena. Whereas In Your Dreams now at 5.1, Battle of Fury 2 parts away at 11 minutes in. He went for the treads as well, so this is a really good build-up for him. There needs to be something from TNC. They need to find an angle, play with the arena, play with the duel something needs to come out to slow In Your Dream down.
Well, they might go after Ice. The arena is placed perfectly by KP, but now In Your Dream can blink straight in. Mel around will go for the duel onto Ice, and they will be able to secure the kill. In Your Dream, he should be able to blink away. He will just take a bounty while he's around. That'll be the first duel victory in the game for Armel. So I guess at least they've got that out of the way. Nice pick off there onto the CK.
Yep, they just had to wait for the blink first, but it is ready. Still, look at how aggressive Abed is just on the map. Forcing out a swap from Febby that doesn't lead into anything.
Yeah. The classic Bat Rider just runs at you every time Fire flies off cooldown, and you've just got to try and avoid him. That being said, he does have the lasso up now, so Gabby's going to have to be slightly cautious in that mid lane. And with how poor Gabby is, he just doesn't seem to be able to survive anywhere near long enough up against Abed's Bat Rider. Still, TNC just going to try and buy more space and time for Gabby. They don't really have any stacks set up for him, though. They've all been stolen by Team Dog. And while all this is happening, Ice is getting closer and closer to that Ags. That's going to be the real problem point here for TNC, is they are going to try and force a fight up at that top lane, but Arena was on cooldown for another 5 seconds. Now they do have it, so the duel will come out from Armel. Sunray there as well. Everything being thrown out to make sure they can get this kill, but the duel was not won. It just expired. Now Abed looking to turn back around with this lasso. Doesn't have Firefly up yet, but he has it up soon. They do run out of time. TNC, they are going to get away with that Ogre kill.
Yeah, I like the split focus coming out here from Team Dog, though. They group up as 4 up top. They give Ice space, knowing that they have to play around the timing of that CK. And we talked about this. Like, CK without Ags can make some plays around the map, but doesn't really shine until that item's up. So Dog is actually putting Ice on the safe spot to farm. No threat of him under rotation. Gabby can't do too much. It's actually In Your Dream copying the harder lanes, copying the attention. So far has been paying off, as they haven't slowed down Ice. And as that slow build-up towards the Ags comes up, it is really going to be scary. Although he does swap out for a Blink instead, looking for utility on the CK instead.
That's pretty interesting. Mel going to jump in, actually has found out the leaner, so Paulson is going to go down. Another duel victory, and now they found Arfu again, so Arfu gonna die, and Armel does get a double kill. And I'm kind of intrigued by that switch up in item builds. I mean, the blink is gonna be nice, but I thought the Ags was just kind of like almost a. It just seems better.
Yeah, I'd say it is. Like, blink on the CK right now, considering how weak base Phantasm is. Like, level 1 is 1 illusion. You don't have that much damage on you yet to really get that up. I think the strength does come in numbers with it.
And Tim's caught out. Rift is going to be there, but I believe the Rift pulled him out of the lasso. Yeah. But Tim's is still going to come back. They do go down. I guess they are buying time for Gabby. Slowly but surely, the Medusa is starting to catch up.
It really is. You are seeing In Your Dream still up ahead, though. Battle Fury now up on our AM, so expect that number to slowly rise, as he is a little bit more mobile than that Medusa. Not as much mobility for Gabby to clear out these camps. You do have the Blade Mail up on Armel, so the duels should be a bit more effective. They deny the mid-tier 1, taking some gold away from Team Dog as well. So TNC just holding in there. And Ice again, messing around, does switch for the Ags. So it looks like he's just waiting for his point booster to finish up. And once you have that, well, it's time to see how many particle effects each PC can take, Mike. We're talking about Arena, talking about Egg, talking about the Phantasm illusions. Honestly, if the Egg plus Arena are running while the illusions pop, I'm sure you're going to see some very juicy frame drops, Mike.
Who needs those frames anyway? 1 frame is enough. We grew up in the back in the day, you know, when we had the Windows 98 and 2000 or whatever it was, XP, the good old days. You know, when PowerPoint was actually useful as well, to be able to use it to make your little school presentations.
Oh yeah.
Showed the teacher
You're
who
always
would,
the coolest kid.
yeah, the teachers always pretend to care. You know, they always found what you made lame.
Very true. Still, we'll see if that does come into play. Again, the Ags should be flying out soon. 50 gold left for Ice. So really good timing for him to get that done. Not eating into too much space for In Your Dream as well. So it's still pretty steady here. Gabby, however, does have the Yasha, Manta up soon, and Blink.
Well, they found our fool again, so Mel, looking for some quick dual damage, is going to be able to get another +10. Very nice feeling for him. Obviously not the greatest kill in the world, but it is buying them space. It's giving them more DPS, and look at Gabby's farm. He's second in net worth now. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, they've left him alone in the jungle, and again, that's a Venge stacking up multiple camps for you at the same time. So it is highly efficient, even though the Medusa's not as mobile. That's something Team Dog was very aware of at the start, but did let go down the line to get their own farm together. So it is sort of biting them now in the bum. Not quite big enough on Gabby to be a threat, but he is rushing the Butterfly. So certain things are starting to line up there for TNC. They still need to find their big team fight combination. We haven't seen Arena plus Egg yet, although.
I mean, they do get Polison, but in the mid lane, Arfu again, gonna be in trouble, will go down. So they do find another 2 supports for the side of TNC. Very, very good news for them. Now Ags is up on Ice.
That was lame.
TNC, not gonna be too worried about that quite yet. Chasing down Arbed. Armel would have loved to get a jewel off there, but he could not quite reach. I mean, Team Dog, they're playing the long game, right? I mean, even up against this Medusa, with this AMCK, they seem to be quite happy to just sit back and relax.
Yeah, it's not the most threatening. We talked about the weaknesses, right? The mana burning off, the AM to add on to that as well. Going to be relatively easy to take care of Gabby. The bigger threat is the Egg Arena going off in a good spot. So it really boils down to Tims and KP finding the right position, getting their combination off in a big way, and setting up these fights for TNC to start cleaning up. Haven't seen that effect yet. Again, it's very reminiscent of the pacing we saw in Game 1. Both sides are just waiting for major item pickups first before looking for that fight. Does lead to that slower pace. BKB for Abed looks to be one of the timers that they're waiting for. 200 gold away now for Batrider to have that spell immunity in the front. That should help Abed get his positioning right and start to find those key targets to pick off. TNC for their part, again, it's all about Gabby getting farm. They do have the ults up on Tims, and they've also got the blink. They've also got the ults up in KP. They're gonna need the blink on the Mars position to get that buff.
Oh, here we go again. Arbed gonna be caught out here. KP gets the spear off into the arena. Arfu around to help out, and Arbed is actually gonna go for a lasso back onto KP with the Phantasm Illusions. Here we go. KP gonna survive, but Febby in trouble. Meanwhile, the Draw on the backlines has caught out the Lena. Polison is gonna die, and Febby, he survives. Gabby now gonna rush forward onto Arfu. They want the Ogre again. They are gonna be able to get him, and TNC managed to fight it out very nicely. Everyone ends up surviving through the team fight. You know, every team fight that goes by, I'm starting to get more and more worried for Team Dog. It isn't working out.
Yeah, they're just not quite hitting as hard as they'd want. Now, that was TNC popping all their big spells, whereas Team Dog doesn't really have any major spells to wait for. Lasso's there, Phantasm's there, but they're not very long cooldowns. They can maybe look for an opportunity, but the net worth lead has swung back. It's just 1k up for Team Dog. Not a massive lead by any means. That's something TNC can seek to abuse. They do have the blink up on Ice, so you can get the initiation just right if they want to, but it looks like they might set their eyes onto the Roche first.
That they will. Roshan gonna go down fairly quick. There we go, that's better.
Oof. They should be they were aware of that illusion, they pop a smoke hole.
Oh, Tims did dive in for a second. Arbed gonna knock him back with the flame break, and Tims has no way out of this now that the Icarus dive is gone. He could maybe pop the egg if it was off cooldown, but it is not. And now, Febby also caught out by In Your Dream, blinking perfectly. Be able to get the Mana Void to cancel the TP off. A double kill out for In Your Dream. They just look to get back. Just enjoy the map.
Yeah, they're getting some good farm out. They do get the lead back their way. 3k up now. Our AM is slowly inching his way towards that Basher Abyssal. So once you've got that in your dream, he's going to be very hard to keep locked into one spot. Again, one weakness of the craft of TNC. All they really have is, what, duel, totally pin him down. I guess the Venge stun is there to follow up. Still, Gabby is making use of this time really well. Butterfly up, straight into Divine. So Gabby understanding that they are starting to fall behind a bit, needs a huge boost of power. Divine Rapier going to be lined up for him. Should be nice once it's up. Butterfly as well, it's going to block off some of the damage coming out from Ice and from In Your Dream. So you are getting some durability boosted up from that, and of course a lot of good damage. And TNC, they're just going to look to pressure that bot tier too.
But they will. Ice, he'll TP down. Blinks in for the stun, gets the Phantasm off, but isn't looking for a team fight by himself. Just going to force back the side of TNC. Arbed going to show up now on the Bat Rider, going straight on to Gabby, but doesn't go for the lasso yet. Now the swap out. Arbed still going to pop the BKB and be fine. Stonegaze is there. Now another swap in with the jewel out from Armel. They're holding down the Bat Rider, and they will get that one. Paulson also going down, but Gabby does die to In Your Dream. Gets the Mana Void off on the Medusa. In Your Dream now going after the egg, but that may have been a bit greedy. He doesn't have the jewel up, or rather the blink up, but he will die. That'll be the Aegis. Can blink away, but he'll go back in onto Febby. We'll get another one for his trouble. They want to keep going. Ice doesn't have a blink up. 5 seconds away from it, but he's still chasing them down. Looking for a rift back. KP might just have to be the target here, but he's going to hide in the tree line for now. In Your Dream blinking perfectly forward once again, and KP going to be completely surrounded, and he is going to die. Another one for the books as Ice just keeps going, but Armel goes for a duel with the BKB out, and it looks like he is going to be able to win this duel out, but here come the illusions surrounding them. Tims will just disappear. Armel trying to find his way out. A great overwhelming odds. We'll actually clear out those illusions. Arbed, lasso is there, back onto the LC. It looks like Armel will die. A complete mess of a team fight between these two, but I believe Team Dog did come out ahead.
Yep, really big wins for them. Does cost them the Aegis and a buyback, and a couple of deaths, but they went out. They do manage to force TNC back. Not the cleanest, but again, it works out. They're going to find some objectives. They have to be a bit cautious about how much damage is building up with Armel. He has 100 bonus from the duel, and he has that blade mail, so he can stand and fight really well. Overwhelming odds, as you saw. Deletes people when they're under the Phantasm. So you have to watch the illusion placement there as well from RCK. Beyond that, Team Dog are starting to pull ahead. Basher up, Abyssal, Recipe not too far off here for IYD. So he's going to be able to get control, find the target, lock them down, pin them down. TNC, they are still strong. Like when they have Arena plus Egg plus Gaze, they can really mess up these team fights big. They just have to be careful about overcommitting, as there aren't as much major cooldowns here on the side of Team Dog. They can just focus on right-clicking down, running around, getting some casual damage and control off. And TNC relies on these teamfight spells a lot more.
TNC waiting for a power route at the 26-minute mark. It is going to be a DD room, but In Your Dream does pick it up himself, and now they might be forced into a bad team fight. Looks like Gabby will be stunned up by the Fire Blast. In Your Dream trying to get away from that Stone Gaze, and Armel going to jump in now for a big duel out. Kills off Arfu. Paulson also dying on the Lena, and TNC are looking for more. Won't quite find it yet. Or maybe they will. In Your Dream will come back in onto KB and cleans up the Mars, and now Arbed going for a lasso, but the swap is going to be there from Fabi. So In Your Dream cleans up another. It'll be the Venge going down. Ice trying to jump in onto Gabby. The Deucer will be fine for now, but In Your Dream just hitting way too hard. Kills off Tim's onto Gabby. The mana's gone. Gabby's a bit of a sitting duck now. He has Armel there to try and help out, but In Your Dream still just mad fighting. Will blink away now, and Ice. He's been left behind. He will die. In Your Dream did not want to stick around as Armel is hitting way too hard. It is going to mean a 4-for-3 trade in the favor of TNC.
A really massive win for them. Awkward position for Team Dog to force the fight. Like, they knew all the spells were up. They didn't even have to throw out the egg there for TNC. Just the arena alone was enough to mess it all up. And again, just respect the LTL though.
Oh, they respect the LC, all right, John, but they've jumped in again, and Armel, he's going to get all the respect down.
Yeah, it's the Abyssal. LYD goes back, he gets a +1, gets a chain stun. Do manage to clean up, so in the end, I'd say that's a win for Team Dog. Ends up being a 4-for-4 if you count that last kill, and just slightly better for In Your Dream coming out there for Team Dog. So they do have a lot to play with. Scotty being built up by our AM next. TNC for their part, all their spells are still standing. Arena has refreshed. So they can look to force another fight out if they want to. Gabby's very close to finishing up that Divine Rapier. Does have the Sacred Relic up. So just needs the gold for the Demon Edge. And considering the Flash Farmer for Dusa, should be able to find it. But you are seeing the gap between the AM and Dusa start to build up again. In Your Dream, 3k gold up. And Scotty should be a nice piece of control to really mitigate how tanky Gabby's been in front.
Certainly. You saw once In Your Dream can jump onto the Medusa, it's not really too big of a problem to get rid of the mana pool and just get rid of the Medusa herself. It's more Armel that seems to be the scary part, as he's sitting there with +120 jewel damage, and even with that Orb of Destruction, he kind of just rips through you if he gets the jewel off. Of course, In Your Dream, going to have to be very cautious about copying the jewel out from Armel. Gabby, is he just going to outright buy the Divine? Looks like he just may. He's making his way over to the Ancients and should have enough gold after this Ancients are done. He does, and yeah, he buys it out.
Ooh.
Dangerous
Risky.
times. Smoke up, they want to make use of it straight off the bat.
Dire are scanning for enemies.
Take their outpost back first,
Is under attack.
prior to that 30-minute mark. They aren't going to find anyone though. They just kind of reoccupy their jungle. Illusions are going to be there to scout out, so they will see the Divine Rapier on Gabby.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Both teams are going to be waiting on that next Roshan, but it is about 1 minute and 15 seconds away.
Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is Radiant's courier has been killed.
It's like one of those things where they kind of avoid each other for a bit.
Yeah, it's much more efficient time for Team Dog farming up though. Like they're getting way more build up here beyond the Divine on Gabby. Scotty done on In Your Dream. Ags going to be done soon for Paulson. Does have the gold, doesn't have the courier. Once you've got that Ags on Belina as well, of course you can start bursting people down. And of course with a telescope, does allow Paulson to play from further back, increases the range of just how far they can cast their own spells, and they do smoke up.
But they do. Courier. Armel's Courier probably going to die here to Arbit.
Each brave courier knows the risk.
TNC
Tower is under attack.
going to take over the Radiant Triangle. They'll go for a counter smoke here, back into the mid lane. The Team Dog have shown themselves.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's courier has been been killed.
Abed ready to break the smoke. Nice positioning on this Bat Rider. Will Firefly and just run immediately as soon as he breaks that smoke. However, Mel going to catch him out with a duel. That might mean that Abed is going to die. They don't win the duel. It was just a split second off. He's going to be all right.
Took the racks.
Very nice. In Your Dream does just rat out a lane of racks. Very nice stuff. And they're in position to go for the Roshan as well if they want.
Could be a bit risky. And we're talking about Arena, Stone Gaze, and Egg. Got a lot of team fight and
Oh, In Your Dream, that's a big target to get. They do lock him down with the spear, but do they have enough time? In Your Dream will just be able to blink away. Mel did not have the jewel off cooldown yet. Fu, he'll be the trade. He might die, but Febby almost dies in response. TNC looking to go back for that Roshan now. Smoke up. There aren't many heroes around here from Team Doctor trying to counter out this. Hollison, Mel gonna chase down the Lena, is forced to pop the BKB, now In Your Dream will jump in on the AM. Mel gonna be alright for now. KP in with the Yules, but he's been stunned up by Ice Ice Ice. He could not get the spear off. Tim's gonna go back in onto In Your Dream, but now the jewel is out on Abed. Abed actually burning them alive while all this is happening, but it will eventually die, and Gabby will get a double kill, but In Your Dream jumps in for a Mana Void. Does a lot of damage, kills off Tim's as well. Mel and Tim's both gone, but Ice 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 will die to Tim's. Fu trying to hide, will eventually go down as In Your Dream does come back in. Gets another one. It's a triple kill for him, but an ultra kill for Gabby. The Roshan still alive throughout all this as well. Back in they go. Ice kills off Febby, but this may cost him his own life. They do go in, Ice. Yeah, he's melting alive, he will die. And so you've got an Aegis now on this Medusa. Gabby's going to feel a lot more confident trying to be a bit more active on this Medusa, even with this Divine Rapier. They are going to go through the mid lane.
Yeah, that was just a complete mess for Team Dog. Caught surprised by the Divine, and they are paying for it. Gonna be a huge window for TNC to rush down. No buyback on Ice 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 as he did die back. So they do manage to take a nice free objective, and In Your Dream, he's not going to defend. He's going to have to just play this split push game. Maybe force out the melee racks down bot completely and just kind of force the attention of TNC to split. They can't really commit for high ground, but you're on a really awkward spot now if you are Team Dog. They need to get Abed using this lasso. He doesn't have a blink up. It's going to need something to help him reposition himself into the backline and grab some key heroes. If they can grab the Medusa, drag her up front, could be big, but Febby has been on point with the swaps to break out those lassos anyway.
That he has been. Take their time once again. Looks like Gabby's going to work towards the Satanic now. In Your Dream, meanwhile, is doing the exact same thing, and he also has a Divine Rapier queued up. He will go for the Satanic first. Turning into one of those games. Divines have become very necessary, but they are still maintaining the net worth lead on Team Dog. It just doesn't really seem to matter as much anymore as time's gone on. All that net worth is basically on the position ones anyway.
Yeah, you're seeing everyone else really take a backseat. Abed, Ice Ice Ice, and Paulson, all behind Armel. At the least, Paulson's farmed enough to be a pseudo core. They are like 4 cores compared to TNC, where KP's lagging behind a bit in terms of his build-up. Still, they do manage to take that last outer tower and start from tier 3.
KP gonna get the arena off onto Paulson, and Gabby is just gonna make quick work of him. However, the top lane is being forced in by In Your Dream while they are trying to make the push down to the bot lane. Mel will go in to defend that, but In Your Dream will be able to blink away. So Gabby back into the bot racks. Slowly go ahead and take it out, but Ice jumps in for a stun, and Abed is looking for a lasso attempt. Won't quite find one yet. They do spear him up to the wall, and Abed is taking a lot of damage from that Divine Rapier. Bebi's going to swap him back in. He's still just trying to run, but Gabby should have it, and Bebi, another great swap. But here comes In Your Dream with the Abyssal Blade. Still Bebi with the Ghost Scepter surviving. Stone Gaze out. In Your Dream, forced to Manta and blink away. Stone Gaze will be used up. So they do pop the Phantasm Illusions. Can they deal with this Medusa? It doesn't look like it, Cappy. He's looking very confident as he does go into the mid lane now. In fact, they've got it started with KP jumping in, but Armel gets a great jewel off. He got In Your Dream. The AM's gonna die. There's no buyback gold on him. Gabby gonna find Ice as well. And they're going for the tier 4 towers now. And the GG's called. They can't defend. And after such a great start to this game for Team Dog, they just have to call it because they realize there is no way to defend this Rax. Or rather, the Ancient.
They messed up. In Your Dream bought out his Satanic before going in there. The duel was on point from our mill, and it fell apart. Now, Team Dog, again, looked good earlier on, as you mentioned. Really fell flat as it came down late. They allowed Gabby to just farm up after contesting that jungle for a long time. He just managed to play a catch-up, got the Divine, were caught surprised by it, paid the price, and In Your Dream just unfortunately buying out at the wrong moment and gets punished immediately for it. Did seal that game. So a great performance from TNC, Team Dog. A rather unfortunate way to end that series, but it did look good from both teams. Really even match overall.
It certainly was, John, and with that, that is going to be it for us tonight. Of course, we are going to be back tomorrow for the final day of the group stages, and it is looking to be a pretty lit day as we are ending the groups, and there are still some ties in the groups right now, so see how that all does pan out. But for tonight, it is MLP Dota, it is johnxfire. It's been a pleasure. We're going to go to bed, and we'll see you all again tomorrow, same time, for some more great SEA Dota. See you then.